The Asherona pre-order is live, which means we know when the Asherona event's actually going to happen. We can also discuss the best pairings with Asherona, her skill set, where she's strong, where she's weak, and some fun ideas for Hero Wars Dominion Era Titan fights going forward.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charlie. This is Hero Wars Central, and if you woke up to a surprise today, then so did I. Asherona pre-order is live. I didn't think it was going to be live for another day or two, which is great news. Now, first and foremost, I, like many other YouTubers, received a Asherona for free. This promotional video is in exchange for a free Titan. You can see I got my Asherona and Pyro right here. Now, with that being said, I am going to be critical of this Titan because I do believe that of the three Summoner Titans, we have Verdoc and Tidus, who was released a month or two ago. Of course, we have Asherona that is coming in the next couple of days. I believe December 12th at 2 a.m. UTC, which is December 11th in the evening for us here in the United States. And the Water Summoner Tidus, which will be coming in a couple of months. That'll be the third of the Summoner rotation. Now, before we get into the effectiveness and all of that, let's just quickly discuss Asherona and a little bit about her specifically. She doesn't have any additional skins yet, but that will eventually change. She'll get mechanical skins, she'll get, champion primordial skins, and who knows, maybe other fun new styles of skins. Not yet. Obviously in the future at some time. She has 3 artifacts just like everyone does. A new artifact weapon, Ragni's Eye. This increases elemental damage. We have the Fire Crown, which increases elemental armor. And then we have the Seal of Nature, which increases health and attack. Now, the weapon and ring are where I find Asherona to be a weak Titan. Let's discuss specifically these stats. The elemental damage stat for Fire Titans means that Fire Titans do more damage versus Earth Titans only. So with this artifact weapon, remember, these artifact weapons are not like hero artifacts. It's not giving the whole Titan team bonus damage. It's just increasing Asherona and Pyro's stats, okay? So your Titans don't have an ultimate. They don't have an artifact weapon buff either. So increasing this artifact weapon only increases damage towards Earth Titans, not anything else. Not darkness, not light, not water, not other Fire Titans. The thing about Fire Titans is they're already good against Earth. They take, and part of that is this stacking elemental damage. So you got to keep that in mind. It's not just a flat damage increase to all enemy Titans. Now, the artifact ring or crown, the elemental armor, slightly different. This is only effective versus Earth on offense. Okay, on offense. On defense, it actually does increase your defenses, Asherona and Pyro's defenses, against all of the base element Titans, Earth, Fire, and Water on defense. So it's kind of a weird asterisk, a little weird caveat. It doesn't work at all versus light or darkness on offense or defense, so just keep that in mind as you're leveling up Asherona. These stats do not apply to light and dark Titans whatsoever. Now, a quick discussion of her skills. The skill that's the most interesting in the sake of the summoner rotation is the Spiritual Bond Fire. This means that Asherona and Pyro effectively count as 2 Titans. And that is interesting because in the world of Hero Wars, for the base elements, fire, earth, and water, you have the elemental fire spirit totem that requires 3 Fire Titans on the battlefield to gain energy and to work and to send the ability out. What's important to note is that Pyro, the little baby that Asherona summons, Pyro isn't going to be in the field of battle the entire time because Pyro can be killed. Okay, it has a portion of Asherona's health. So Pyromania is the main skill. This kind of breaks down Pyro, the little summoned glob of lava. Whenever you summon Pyro, he deals damage to all nearby enemies. That's the first section, the first row of enemy Titans. And it applies a debuff called Smoldering Brand. Now, whenever an enemy Titan with Smoldering Brand takes damage from any Titan, that debuff will explode, dealing 193 or whatever thousand damage to that specific enemy and all enemies surrounding it. So if it lands on the front line and then the front line gets damaged, then it blows up and it hits people in the front line. And then every 10 seconds, every 10 seconds, Pyro will reapply that debuff to nearby enemies, not the entire enemy team, just nearby enemies. So in a way, Asherona and Pyro are really effective at targeting and doing extra damage to that front line of enemy titans, generally the tank, sometimes the support, sometimes it's the super titan. It just depends on how the enemy team is made up. Yeah. So let's talk about the 3 to 4 reasons why you might want to level up Asherona. First and foremost, the most important reason that the average guild, the average player will want to have Asherona leveled up is for the Bastion of Fire. Now, the Bastion of Fire in the Clash of Worlds activity is a location that is bolstered by the number of fire titans that you have in the fortification itself. There are 4 positions in here and 5 possible fire titans per team, so that's 20 total titans. You take 20 times 8, you end up with 160. So you can give a bonus of 160% health to this location. Now, it's important to note that there were only 4 locations in here, so only 4 members of your guild need to have those 5 fire titans leveled up, and the 5 earth for the nature and all of that. So that is the first reason. That's one of the most important reasons for player versus player, at least. There you go. Now, the second reason that was brought to my attention is Asherona is going to greatly assist in the dungeon. Anytime that you have to use a fire titan team against the location in the dungeon, let's kind of run through here real quick. Defeat a team of earth titans. Right here, only fire titans can participate in this battle. So right here, this is exactly why she could be good to the average player. Having all 5 fire titans against this earth team is pretty beneficial. So Clash of Worlds is one, and the dungeon is another. And finally, just the discussion about if you are a fire titan main team, right? If your main set of titans, your main totem is fire titans, then you're going to want to consider Asherona as just an addition to your team. Now, let's talk about the good things with Asherona, some of the things that you should pay attention to if you are going to be leveling up Asherona. First and foremost, if you are a fire titan team main, that is, your primary attackers and defense with titans are fire, then obviously that's going to be something that you're going to want to add to your team. It's going to be going to allow you to have variety and all of that. Asherona's ability to be in a 2 fire titan team effectively opens up a lot of fun possibilities. And I'm actually going to suggest you check out the link in the description box down below. There's a link to a blog post that talks about a couple of different fun Asherona and Pyro team ideas, like fire earth, fire water, fire darkness water, a couple of different ideas on how you can use Asherona and Pyro in kind of a non-traditional kind of way. But then the problem with those fun hybrid teams is the totem fusion. Now, the totem fusion has pretty well been locked in. Everybody generally has the same idea when it comes to the totem fusion for the fire titans. And I actually have that here as well on the blog. So for example, the generally recommended fire totem fusion skills are going to be Last Flash and Primal Zeal. That's all well and good, right? Problem can fall in whenever you're using these fire titans, like the 2 fire, 2 earth Hyperion team, or the 2 fire, 3 water team. You might end up having some interesting interactions with your totem fusion. By the way, this totem fusion post is in my, it's linked down below as well. This is what I would recommend most fire teams use. Last Flash and Primal Zeal are kind of the go-to. And they, you have some alternates here depending on who you use the fire totem fire team with as you're building your Clash of Worlds team, your Guild Wars team, all of that. Now, my final verdict for Asherona, I gave you some reasons why you might want to level her up. Now here's one big reason why you're going to want to skip her completely. If you're building an earth team, you're good against water teams. If you're building a water team, you're good against fire teams. If you're building a fire team, you're good against earth. And also, if you play them on manual mode, fire teams can beat water because Moloch on attack played in manual mode will stun the water team before Sigurd can get his shield up, even sometimes on defense. Shout out to my community for kind of explaining to me how fire teams are so effective. Asherona and Pyro, unless you're going for those very specific instances where I think that she's going to be important, like the Clash of World defenses or the dungeon or some fun 2 fire, 3 water teams, unless you're going for stuff like that, Fire Titans are already considered to be the best player versus player, the best attacking Titan team in the game for everything, for Clash of Worlds, Guild War, all of that. And of course, you need a lot of teams leveled up eventually. The whales among us are going to have, you know, all of the Titans leveled up and all of the totems leveled up and, you know, plenty of opportunity there. But for me, whenever it comes to this event, not only am I not going to recommend you pre-ordering it, but I'm also going to recommend not going really crazy on the event itself. I think that Tidus, the Water Summoner, and Verdoc, the Earth Summoner, are both slightly more useful, but again, I don't like them for the same reason I don't really like Asherona and Pyro. The Earth teams that already win are still going to win. The Fire teams that win now are still going to win. The teams that they're losing to right now, I don't believe they're going to magically start winning because of Asherona, but, you know, I guess we'll see as we test some stuff out. Now, the big problem that I have just specifically with this pre-order is that unless you have Asherona, you can't actually do combat training. Like if you go into max versus max, you can't select Asherona as an option to do combat training. So if I, as a player that was given Asherona in exchange for a video, if I put them in on defense in Guild Wars, you're not going to be able to train against them. You're just going to have to just hope for the best. Now, of course, when this event goes live on the 11th or the 12th, whatever, she'll be added to the game. You'll be able to do max testing. You can train against her, all of that. So we're just talking about a couple of days here, but still, it is an unfair advantage for those of you that are spending money, or content creators like me who are just giving it for free. Not that I'm mad about it. I'm very happy that I received this for free. Thanks again to Hero Wars Dominion Era for sponsoring this video. If this is your first time checking out Hero Wars Central, I like to do educational videos for new players, budget players, and those who care about efficiency. Please consider subscribing. Turn on notifications to never miss a video. And if you want to learn a little bit more about Asherona's totem fusion setup and all of that, check out the video that's on screen now. Kind of go over it a little bit more in detail. I love you all. Good luck in Dominion.